Hey everyone, it's Rebecca from Rebecca's Adorable Baby Car Nursery, and I'm here to do part 2 of the Q&A video. So, where I want to start is how my grandma got me into reborning, because I think that's where I left off. So, like I said, she bought a lot from Ashton Drake, and then I didn't know why, because I didn't get it then. I wish I did when she was alive, however I didn't. But the second thing is, the next thing rather, is did I have to go to a lot of appointments as a kid and now? And that's a big yes. Big yes. I had to go to appointments at least every week, I think, when I was a baby. And then when I remember, I think it was like twice a month when I had to go to London, Ontario for appointments, whether that was occupational therapy appointments. Now when I was younger, the occupational therapist would get my mom or dad to sit me on the floor, and I would play with blocks and put them in the right holes. So it was like playing, but it was a bit more structured so they can see where my motor functions were at. So they would make me try it again even if I got it incorrectly, and apparently that drove me nuts. Well, I guess it would, for the fact that if you got it in right and then they took it out right away on you, that would be annoying. But yeah. And then they would have me look at flashcards, like ABC cards or number cards or word cards and things like that. When I was a baby, my mom she made me a black and white, book. Like, it was pictures of black on white or white on black, because that's the first color babies see. So they wanted me to, or my mom, to get on that pretty quickly. Also, another big thing was physiotherapy. Like, even when I was not in surgery recovery, physiotherapy is still the big thing. We do have a physiotherapist where at my place of living. Not gonna mention his name because just not going to. But when I moved here 3 years ago, I would just be using a complete Hoyer lift, which was a lift that can only put you on the bed to your chair or on a surface to your bed or your chair or my chair. But now I am able to use this at the stand lift. And what that is a lift where they put a sling behind you, put a strap around your torso or your stomach more or less, and then only if and when if you're able to have major strength in your legs, which I do, um if you start lifting up, and it'll take you out of the chair and you basically stand on a platform, and then they push you to the bathroom or whatever you want to do. One of my biggest accomplishments was dancing with my dad for the first time in 2021 on my birthday, because that's what I wanted to do with the sit to stand. And the thing of it is, my dad wants to keep the video between us, like me and him, so I can't show you how it went, but it was awesome. And I played the song, I Hope You Dance by, there were various artists from that, but my dad didn't know what was going on that day, because when we still had a basement, I said, well, my physiotherapist told us to go down to the basement, so I had to act like I knew nothing. And I just followed the physiotherapist down there, and my dad did the same. He followed me down there. And then the physiotherapist said, oh, we're just going to show you how she stands in the sit to stand, but I told my dad that he had to sit down, and then he looked very confused, like, why do I have to sit down? I can stand and watch her get in the lift, and the sit to stand, he didn't understand at all. So, and then what I did was, the staff used to be able to eat lunch down there. So I have a really nice activity person, who I'm not gonna mention her name either. But she said, I'm sorry, I have to eat my lunch down here. Sorry to bother you, and we just said, oh, no worries, it's fine. Because it was a big basement, but what she was really there for was to play the music on her phone. And when it started, Jerry pushed me over to my dad. So I actually stood up to him and said, Dad, will you dance with me? And his eyes just went so wide. And he said, sure, why not? And I said, can I have this dance? And I also said, I never thought I'd be asking you this. And then I said, can I have this dance? So he said, sure. And then at first my dad didn't know what to do, but I was strong enough to hold his hand with one and hang on to the stand with my other hand, so it was actually like a real dance. When my physiotherapist stood behind me to make sure I didn't lose leg strength, which I didn't, thank God. And we made it through the whole song with dancing. My physiotherapist was crying, my activity person was crying, my dad was crying, I was crying. It was just a beautiful moment. So I do have the video of it, but I'm not gonna share it with you guys, and I hope you're okay with that. Also, ever since COVID has slowed down in 2022 and 2021/2022, my dad has been coming in every Tuesday, every single week. I think there's a couple times where we had to switch the day, but that was about it. And he usually comes from 1 o'clock to 3:30, sometimes later. And it's really nice. On Tuesdays we play bingo, so he's an expert bingo card player, because we have the bingo cards where you flip the tabs down, so when you cover them they're red, and when you don't cover them they're white. So, that's really great. Some of the things I can do on my own is silly notification popping up right now. Is color, reading depending on the font of the book, um, drawing if I really want to, but I usually like to just color. And of course, I go outside the line still, but I have improved a little bit. The ones behind me were colored by me and someone else, so that's why they're colored in. Or I just take a white eraser with mine and erase where the pencil crayon went out of the line. And, interesting fact, white erasers are the only type of erasers that will get rid of any marks on a paper really well. I mean, it's not perfect. You can, depending on how hard you put the pencil crayon, you can still see it, but usually it comes out pretty well. But enough about that. Another thing that I can do is work a computer or an iPad very well. Like I said in the part one, I said my parents made me learn on my own, and I thank them for that because if they didn't, I wouldn't be able to do as much as I did. Do now. And I could drive the car on my own when I go places, if I have money or somebody drives me there, but I rarely need assistance, like somebody going with me or somebody driving my chair. Now, my chair is about 6-7 years old, and you're supposed to get one every 5 years, but as everyone says, and I'm getting sick of this phrase, due to COVID-19, we are backed up. We are sorry. Now, if any of you have disabilities like myself, then you'll understand what I'm saying. And another thing that drives me completely crazy is that when we get a chair or we need a Hoyer lift or a new vehicle or a new any type of equipment, what maybe cost a regular person like $400, it cost me like in the thousands. So like it's ridiculous. And again, if you have a disability like myself, you'll know what I mean. But I mean, for one of these chairs, 10,000 like would only cover a quarter of it, and I mean 10,000 Canadian. Now, yes, we do have insurance to cover it, but still, they call it ADP. I don't know what it stands for anymore, but it's a type of insurance that will cover for half of the chair, but still, I don't even think it should be that much. Like, I don't even think you should have to pay that much. But that's the government for you. So what can you do? I'm not gonna go into the politics of crap. But yes. And then I wore AFOs, which also, I, I don't know why they were called AFOs. They're basically splints you put on your feet So for me, it was so that my feet kept going in the right direction and not turning in or out. I hated them as a kid because they were very uncomfortable after a while, because they were just plaster with a Velcro strap, and then that's it. And then again, you would have to buy an extra pair of shoes because with AFOs, the shoes had to be one size bigger than your regular size. So I think I was size 7, maybe 8. So I would have to buy a size 9 shoe just to fit the AFO. So I think I stopped wearing them. Oh yes, I think I was like still going to camp because my mom and dad dropped me off at Camp Wood Eden one year, and that's run through Easter Seals. I'm sure many of you have heard of it, but if not, it's an organization that covers equipment, camp, um, all sorts of day programs for people with disabilities. Um, but this is where I'm going to give a shout out to Darman. Darman is a person that I watch on YouTube. He's a motivational speaker, and he makes videos where first, say, somebody gets bullied, and he'll show with actors what happens when it happens, and then he'll show the other side where what happens if you treat the person properly. So, he's like a motivational speaker to things. So, Darman, you're amazing. I love you. One day I hope to do a collab with you. You are so cool and so inspiring. It's just, you are so nice. And, then, I do, going on to another topic, for reading, I do use audiobooks a lot. Thank God for Audible. They are amazing. In Canada, you pay, I think it's $30 a month, and you get 4 credits. So it is a little bit much for money, but instead of paying the $25-30 for a book, you just pay for that membership, and then you can get up to 4 books a month. And now they have a new thing where it's called Audible Originals. If anybody uses Audible, leave a comment down below. But the Audible Originals are books they choose to give out for free for the month. And if you like it, you can just go in that catalog under Audible Originals and click audiobooks or ebooks, and it'll be free with your Audible membership. I've tried many other different book websites for audiobooks, but I still go back to the famous like compact discs for audiobooks because I like, even though it's a disc, I like to have a physical copy of books sometimes. But Audible is so much easier. I also have an Echo Dot made by Amazon, and I just wanted to thank Amazon because it's made my life so much more, it's made my life so much easier. I can be more independent Like, this doesn't happen with DVDs, but if I was watching YouTube or Prime Video or Netflix, I could say, Alexa, pause, and it would pause my TV, or I'll show you for a second. Alexa, play game.
Okay, let's find you a game to play. Which would you like? Featured games, music games, or classic games? Or you can ask for more options.
Music games.
Sure, music games. Do you want to try Guess the Song? It is one of the most played games this week.
So, sure.
Alrighty, here's Guess the Song. Let's play a guessing game.
Alexa, stop.
Thanks for playing Guess the Song with Alexa. If you like the game, please leave us a 5-star review on the Alexa app.
So, see, or I could say, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:19 p.m.
See, Alexa, set an alarm for 7 o'clock p.m.
Alarm set for 7 p.m.
Alexa, cancel alarm.
7 p.m. alarm canceled.
So, see, those are just some of the things I can do with Alexa. So, thank you, Amazon, for making these devices, because it's so much easier. And then I have my iPhone. For example, hey Siri. And then I can tell it to read my notifications, whatever. Now,
You have notifications from News, Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, and 2 more apps. First from News.
The Apple News catch-up. China's actions toward Canadian planes provocative. Trudeau. Will the Pope resign? And what convoy protesters are up to at home? Do you want to hear your Netflix notifications?
no,
How about YouTube?
no,
Twitch?
no,
YT Studio?
no,
Instagram?
no.
That's all.
Okay, so hopefully YouTube doesn't strike me for that. But the Alexa and Siri is available to anyone and everyone. But everybody just thinks, oh, you've downloaded the app and there you can use it. Nuh-uh. You have to let it get used to your voice. Like, I've had my iPhone since, like 20, not the same one, forbid me, since 20, 2014, I think. But I've had to train it. And by training it, it's just simple as talking to it. But I mean, it's difficult sometimes. Like, when you're sending a voice text and it doesn't understand you, people can say, what the heck did you just send me? And then I'll have to go back and retext it maybe 3 to 5 times, because I have to either speak slower or faster for it to understand the correct message. That's why sometimes in my YouTube Studio answers to comments, everything isn't spelled correctly due to the voice to type that I use. But I mean, it works for me and nobody complains about it. All they do is laugh about it, and I laugh with them, because some of the things it says is so far gone that you're just like, oh my god, that's hilarious. But for me, most of the time, it recognizes me now. So there's that. So also the Siri, I can make phone calls on my own. I can send messages. I can rate my Facebook statuses with type to text or whatever. Yeah, so it's awesome. There's also a voiceover feature on my phone and on the iPad where if you say, hey blah blah, because I'm not going to say it again, because it'll trigger it, so I don't want it to. But if I say, you know what, turn voiceover on, it will turn voiceover on. And if I click on the text I wanted to read, it will read it. So if I got a message on Facebook Messenger, it'll say the name and then read the message and the time it was sent. If I want to read somebody's Facebook status, it'll read that. If I want to read an email, say from my nephew or my dad, it'll read that. And on Facebook, you know how some people, or most people put photos, it'll even say, this photo contains two people playing in a backyard, for example. So if I didn't have that, I would be pretty much SOL for doing anything on my own. Now we do have other activities at my place of living, such as like throw the frisbee, X's and O's, but most of them I don't go to because I find them rather boring, but some of them like bingo and some of the arts and crafts ones I go to. And now, don't get me wrong, I need a lot of help with a lot of things, and that doesn't bother me. One thing I want to mention is don't ever say I feel so bad, because my response back to you will be, don't feel sorry for me. There's always someone more worse off than me out there, so really don't feel sorry for me and be thankful for what you have, because I know I am. Because even though I'm in a wheelchair and I can't get to certain places sometimes, I still live a dang pretty good life. So now some people, do I have seizures? Yes. But the type of seizures that I have, a lot of people say I can involve, and I don't. The seizures I have are silent seizures or like stare-off seizures, where I will feel hot or cold. Sometimes I can tell the person, like, look, hey, I feel really warm, I think I'm gonna have a seizure, or I feel really bad, I think I'm gonna have a seizure, but sometimes it's just so quick that I don't even have that time. And then sometimes you'll see me staring at a light, like I'm just gonna do it for example, Dad, so don't get upset. But you'll see me staring at the ceiling or staring at something, and then I'll be moaning or asking for a kid's cartoon. I mostly ask for Bernie the Dinosaur or something like that. And then apparently I start singing along to it sometimes. and I don't remember any of that. Some of my seizures last from 5 seconds to 30 seconds, and then some of my seizures last from a second to 2 minutes. I remember when I was living on my own in a group home, or I don't know where I was, but I went to my seating clinic on my own, and I really trusted my vendor, so he's the one that would hold me when they were doing certain things, so I didn't fall. Like, say, I had to sit up on a bench this day in particular, and he kept noticing I was having silent seizures, and he kept saying, I want to call the paramedics because I want you to go to the hospital. But I was so used to them. I kept saying, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. No, no, no. Like, I didn't want to do it. Sorry. And my yawning doesn't mean I'm tired. My yawning is just part of my cerebral palsy due to the lack of oxygen to my brain. But sometimes
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Oh, that was Alexa again. But anyway, sometimes the yawning is due to the lack of oxygen to my brain. Oh my god. Sorry. Or I'm just tired. Or if I'm about to go into a seizure, which I'm not. So I'm okay. But that'll happen, the yawning will happen. But I'm fine, so. But anyways, going back to the story. So I kept refusing to go to the hospital, but my vendor counted 21 seizures, and that's when he said, that's it, you're going, I don't care what you say. And usually I would get mad at that because I don't like hospitals. Well, I don't think anybody really does. But by this point I was so urgent, I just said, okay, send me there. But when I got to the hospital, I was irritable by the time a doctor got to me. So with these seizures, there's really nothing you can do for me. I'll just be really tired after, or really weak. But other than that, it's really, just really yawning there. I'm just, really just like, it's due to the lack of oxygen. I'm not really that tired at all. But like, my mom knows I love ice caps. So she raced to the hospital from work because she never got a call ever in her life before saying, I sent your daughter to the hospital because she had 21 seizures back to back. And when my mom got there, she realized I was out of the seizure attack. That's when I called them. When they go back to back like that, and she asked me what I wanted to drink, and So I said iced calf with chocolate milk and all the fixings. So when she got back, which was like 20 minutes later from the Tim Hortons in the hospital, and I've already been there for 2 hours, I think. Or I don't know for sure. But then the a nurse doctor walked in and read my chart and said to me and my mom, well, it's up to you, and we can take her to a CAT scan, or you guys can just go home. And my mom said, okay, I'll just take her home. Because there's really nothing the CAT scan would have showed. It just would have showed my cerebral palsy. So I actually went home to my mom and dad that night because they were so scared. But then I went back to my group home the next day. But I think that was the scariest episode for me and my mom and dad and everyone else. Some of the other surgeries I had was, oh, one I didn't finish last night was my hips. Oh, yes, I did. And then my tear duct, and then my spinal surgery. So I love being read to by my dad, by anybody. Actually, a friend of mine is gonna read to me at 6:30 or 7, whenever she has time. And I'm reading I Wish You Were Here by Dirty Pico. Honestly, it was written in 2020. It's a book about a couple and COVID-19, so if you know Dirty Pico, she bases her stories on real life, but she also makes them fiction, so getting read to is just something soothing for me. And then yeah, if you guys have any other questions, like I said, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. One thing I'm gonna say is I'm supposed to wear glasses. I am visually impaired. But my glasses are plastic, and when I'm leaning against my headrest, they just fall off. So there's really no point in wearing them. But that's that, and I have to wear earbuds all the time because the headphones that go over your ears just fall off my ears. Because again, pushing against the headrest, they just fall off even in bed. So finding things for me for cheap is not a reasonable thing for me. Because in that sense, you get what you pay for, and boy, do I ever know what that means. So, like, some people can get certain things from the dollar store, like an iPad stand, or things like that. My iPad case is actually a kid theft case, so that I don't break the iPad. Because I don't want to, because I spent $800 on this thing, and I don't want it to break just like that. This was the best iPad case I've ever had and it wasn't that expensive at all. So, and again, I got it on Amazon. So thank you, Amazon. People think that the pens that you can put for like iPads would work for me. So for $10, I got 50 of them, and they're just sitting in my drawer because I can't use them. Cause like the way I hold like the way my dexterity in my hands are is it doesn't recognize what I'm trying to do. So I don't have I don't have an iPhone password or any type of password except for on my laptop because people have to type it in and stuff. So I know that's not good, but I mean, I can't. And right now the iPad is standing up on itself with the feet that the case has, but you would think I'd be able to use it easier like that. No way. I have to have it laying down or I won't be able to use it. What else can I say here? Um, And yes, I go to grocery stores on my own, like Walmart, the dollar store. I am just thankful that the people are nice enough to walk around with me and grab the stuff and help me with whatever I need. Oh, that's what I can say. And in Canada, we have this thing called passport funding, and you get a certain amount of money every year, minus the $3,000, and you can use it for programs like art classes at independent living, which is like a center that does crafts with you, or you can do anything that you wouldn't be able to do at home, but they have the people to help you. Or if I want to go to a movie, I just have to have a worker and then pay for the tickets in advance, and then at the end of the thing, passport pays you back. Right now we're in a pandemic funding, so right now they pay for a lot more than usual. But if I go to my parents or friends or Walmart or anything like that, you get that paid back to you, which is sweet. Otherwise I'm just on a fixed income through ODSP, which is not a lot at all. And what else can I? Like I said in the last video, I cannot clothe myself, but I do pick out my clothing. If I know what I want to wear that morning, I tell them, they go to the closet, they put it on me. And if I don't like something, I will tell someone. I won't necessarily be rude about it, but I will speak up about it. Because honestly, to me, not enough people do. And I just think, why not? Because if you want something fixed, you're the only one that can change it. So, other than government stuff, and don't even get me started. I like watching DVDs. My favorite series is Seventh Heaven. For those of you that were born in the 90s, you have at least heard about it or know what it is. For anyone else, it's based on a family of 7, just on their morals. Their father's a minister. their mother's the stay-at-home mom that cooks, cleans, blah blah blah, but it shows you like all sorts of morals. And the reason I want to thank Diamond so much is she has a great quote, so I'm going to use it. It's not a disability, it's just a different ability. So thank you so much, Diamond, because honestly, he has changed my life for the better. And before I go, I just want to say thank you to everyone that watches this video. Like I said, if you have more questions, leave them down in the comments below. I tried to cover as much as I could, but with me thinking and recording a video at the same time, I may not have said something and that you guys want to know, so please leave it in the comments below. Oh, one more thing. I don't have a catheter or anything. I'm continent and I go to the washroom on my own. And I know that was a weird place to put that part of the Q&A, but I just thought of it now. So sorry for people that are like, ew, why did she put that near the end of the video? Well, just because I thought of it now. So, again, thank you for watching, guys. If you have any further questions, you can email me at rlrussell92@gmail.com, and Russell is spelled RUSSE and double L, and the number 92@gmail.com. Or you can leave them in the comments below. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a Ko-fi account. So that's COFF''E Ko-fi.com. I post up there like my pictures. And yeah, so that's it, guys. See you later. Peace. Love y'all.